Do you know where you are going? Do you know where you are going? Do you know where you are going? Do you know where you are going?
Salutations and good vibrations, family. I hope all is doing well. Welcome to another session of Dissected Soul Family Conversation. I will now repeat the introduction for those who didn't see the previous video. Welcome to Dissected Kingdom, where we discuss decision making, our cognitive thinking, our history and culture traditions, understanding our path forward and our decision making to become one people into moving into our divine destiny. As we move forward in this construct we call the United States, a fabricated society that you must understand to its core to be able to prosper and move forward. If not, there are many traps and gatekeepers who are after your person. Life moves at a fast pace, and you must be cognitive and aware of what's going on and be conscious in present time so that you have a particular awareness of what's going on around you, within you, and above you. Much of our history, many of us have forgotten or were never told or never knew that there were Africans here before the Europeans arrived, before the Native Americans came over the Bering Strait from Russia. We were here. We were living in the southeast of America. We were displaced through social engineering and placed on the outer islands and sent to other parts of South America so that we would not be in our own homeland, but some survived. To further your studies on this, you can check on the history and culture of the Amerindians. You will see Native Americans with afros. Well, before we get started in today's topic, I'd like to welcome and say thank you to our sustaining members, those who are permanently in the Dissected family and have subscribed and been with us since the inception of the channel. I thank you from the bottom of our hearts. I would also like to say thank you to the visitors who are passing through and happen to stumble upon the Dissected Kingdom. And what we talk about here deals with our history and culture. And not that we hate anyone, but we love ourselves. Sometimes you must not like what's in a person, not the person themselves. And many of us have been taught by a system and programmed to think the way we think. And this channel is to challenge those thoughts. And last but not least, I would like to thank the new members who have subscribed and are now part of the Dissected family, and would like to thank you and welcome you to become part of the foundation of what we do here, understanding who we are, where we come from, our history and culture, from here back to Kemet, understanding that we touched every continent on this planet, and understanding that at one time we were the only people here. Today's topic is dealing with the 7 pillars of a society, in which we would discuss each one to give a clearer understanding, to use our cognitive thinking, profound thinking, and decision making to understand what we're dealing with here. When dealing with a society and trying to construct something that most people call civilization, which we invented thousands and hundred thousands of years ago, you must have foundations in which you build your society on, and structures of industries in which you control to manage and manipulate and social construct the society in which your people will live. Understanding that we were here before civilization arrived from Europe, we had already constructed a society here in the Mississippi Valley Basin, as well as in the southeast and east of the United States. So for the societies to continue here, they had to deconstruct and remove all of the people that were here before they can institute and initiate and install their society of the construct we live in now, which is their fabricated, instituted matrix. or construct. This society is built on the rules that balance the levels of power through naturalization. This society is not benefiting majority of the native or African people. We live in a tribal society, which we live in neighborhoods and villages in which we interconnect and work together as one unit. This society is built to break down those neighborhoods and industries and cause us to compete against each other so that you do not unify. And the only unification is under the banner of this construct, which helps the people that built it. Anyone else cannot unify. Everyone else is subordinate to the system they create, which benefits their societies. This is also a society that is built to retrieve and take the inventions, ideas, and creativity of other people. For those who have created this industry can apply monetary value and create it in mass quantities and not compensate those in which they stole the ideas. And many without the society would not be able to compete with the natural people and with the indigenous or African people's creativity on an equal and level playing field because the competition will be too great. They need this system to give them the advantage to keep things balanced, because either way, they are still black millionaires and billionaires. Welcome to our discussion where we're talking about the 7 pillars of a society. We had a previous video which opened speaking about government and business. Now we're on part 2. Now, to get today's session started, today's topic is about entertainment and media. So to start with entertainment in the black community is one of our greatest activities. We love to watch and be watched. We love to be entertained and entertain. We are a humble, loving people which enjoy sharing a society with all who enter. So it is no surprise that one of the greatest pillars of the 7 pillars of a society in America comes down to this entertainment. This entertainment is one of the ones we dominate, and they love to have us dominate this because we entertain like no other. We have some of the greatest entertainers in history in this field. So as we cover this area, there is not much competition with the African American or African in the entertainment field, and this goes worldwide. But when it comes to entertainment and the construct, we don't have any control over this entertainment. We are the entertainers of this industry. These industries are controlled by other people in charge of the construct. We tend to be the entertainers that's controlled and told what to do. We are the entertainers that are signing these bad contracts, which does not lead us in any power or any control of power in this industry. And this entertainment field breaks down into many categories. You have film and theater, you have sports, you have action and activities with superstars such as LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Dr. J, Julius Erving, Magic Johnson, which is Irving Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather, Kobe Bryant, Walter Payton, Barry Sanders, Gail Sayers, Eric Dickerson, Earl Campbell, Doug Williams, Colin Kaepernick, Michael Jackson, Prince, Beyonce, James Brown, Patti LaBelle, Gladys Knight and the Pips, the OJs, Earth, Wind, and Fire, comedians like Richard Pryor, Cat Williams, Dave Chappelle, Bernie Mac, Jamie Foxx, Cedric the Entertainer, Martin Lawrence, the Wayans family, with many more categories and many, many more artists. As you can see, we dominate this pillar. But as we live in a construct that is not controlled by us, many of these artists get their reputations, history, and their careers destroyed by something called character assassination. Many leave the industry broke and without power. And the entertainment business continues to roll. And I didn't even mention any of our artists from the rap industry, created by Kool Herc and Africa Bambaataa. The entertainment industry is where we get used and abused and are never compensated for the talent and skill we have in this industry. The construct of this industry is built to remove every ounce of juice of the talent and entertainment we have in this industry for their financial gain. Many of these artists, as I said earlier, leave this industry broke. Many are signing agreements and contracts in which they cannot reinvest into the industry of this pillar to create their own teams in sports or their own artists and their own companies in music. Many of the comedians and actors was trying to buy television stations in which they were trying to put their own channels and information out there for our people and our communities, such as Ice Cube, Bill Cosby, and Byron Allen, all of which was trying to negotiate to buy television networks. And this was attacked. So as you see, anyone trying to raise themselves to an elevated state to get stable in this construct usually get their juice removed completely. This goes back to the days of the plantation where we were shucking and jiving and dancing, using the banjo and spoons. We were jumping around like clowns. This continues to this day. We have become their entertainment. In other words, they do not take us seriously with any of our political movements or our political requests. The construct has strategies for every move we make and a reaction to every action we take. So we must study their history on their reactions and move accordingly and have predetermined, calculated strategies on being taken seriously. Now to move to the second topic of this session, media and news. And this is a very easy one. Usually we have people speaking about us, talking about us, saying what we mean and saying what they understand about us, but we never get to speak on our own topics in our own voice for our own people and actions. If you've noticed, the media and news tend to voice their support or denial of support on our behalf in many topics. They tend to want to rile up society to either include us or exclude us. When it's something we want, then they tend to exclude us. If it's something they need, then they want to include us. The media and news tend to set the tone on a way to what a society will look at a particular people. And if you look at how the news and media portray us, they portray us as heroes when it's something they want, but they portray us as enemies, scoundrels, thugs, and criminals when they want to put us down. So it's very important to be able to control your own narrative and the temperature of your people when engaging with society and having them view you, whether you're angry or you're happy, to whether you have requests or you're protecting yourself against attack from other societies. Media is very important into getting your point across and being able to communicate with the outside society and voicing your direct perspective to the outside world and to your meaning and definition of your actions. Letting someone else control your narrative is never a good move. It's always great for you to think and respond accordingly. And if you've noticed, they keep footage which is years old when they want to push a narrative such as gun control, violence, when they protest, or any type of support for us. They will pull film and footage which is years old to support or go against any narrative that we push. The images that they supply to the public give an image that is attached to an emotional effect, whether it's anger or they're looking at us as though we are the only ones on welfare. They would usually show a black family or black person, knowing that statistics say that the European Americans in America, the Caucasians, are more on welfare. And if you look at the criminal intent They show us doing a lot of criminal acts, but statistics doesn't back this up. When you look at across the board, it's pretty equal until you get into the population of a dense populated area of a certain people. Then the numbers are indicative of the people living in that area. Well, thank you for listening to part 2 with the topics entertainment and media. We look forward to seeing you in part 3, which is education and religion. So don't forget to subscribe, share, and like the content. See you in the next video. Love, peace, and power. Pharaoh J. Tassetti.